check this spot out. This looks like one hell of a campsite.
Definitely not good timing, like things keep breaking the past few days. Welcome back!
Hey, welcome back.
We are in the Flinders Ranges finally. Such a beautiful morning.
So beautiful. We had the coldest morning so far in the Mog. The windscreen was completely iced over. Mog took a bit to turn over, but nice and warm. And then yeah, we've been going through the Winaroo. I don't know what it's called.
Winaroo. We'll just write it down.
Let us know if you don't. And just filmed some yellow spotted wallabies.
Yeah, I guess the wallaby or kangaroo, they kind of like their tail is yellow, the back of the neck is yellow, so it's very much a different wallaby than other parts of Australia, which is really cool.
We camped right there in a rental van the first time we went to the Flinders, which was a very long time ago. This is the second time we've been.
This is crazy to come back.
We camped right there, I remember it very well. We cooked up a feed. We might have some photos of that today.
Yeah, that was in 2018, so that was 4 years ago. That was kind of actually the start of the outfit as well, where we were brainstorming what we like to do and created on Instagram. So yeah, that brings us some really good memories in here at the Flinders. This is what the gorge looks like, and I just can't believe that we took our mighty camper through here. I remember being like a lot of corrugation, but we actually took it like almost off-roading. We're not supposed to take it on dirt roads, that's for sure. I think that was on the contract. We were like, oh, we're just gonna hope for the best. Oh, well. Hope we don't get like, I guess, just the worst that would have happened, I guess, would have been just a tire puncture.
Yeah,
that would have not been very good. So,
but instead, the kangaroo decided to headbutt the side of the van.
Yeah,
smashed the whole van, but luckily we had comprehensive insurance, which we don't normally get on a rental, and that covered the whole thing. They didn't ask any questions. So
yeah, if you rent a vehicle around the Flinders area, definitely recommend that extra insurance.
A lot of roofs.
You never know what to expect with those little roofs.
And it was about 10 in the morning, so it shouldn't have been flying headlong into cars, but it's what it is.
peaceful is this place? I actually feel almost bad to talk, like I'm like whispering almost, it's so peaceful. We have driven a bit further on the Flinders Ranges, on the Aruna Valley. It's definitely one of the nicest parts of the Flinders Ranges. If you have never taken the drive to go to that point, it's definitely worth it. There's a few walks around, so we're probably gonna do walks so that we get like a really nice look at view around this Aruna Valley range. It's stunning. There's lots of wildlife on the way, so a few emus, more little wallabies. There was a little river crossing as well. Not much wider, but still that was pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna enjoy the afternoon here. The weather is gorgeous. Chris just went for a little walk. I think there's a spring over there. I might join him, and yeah, we'll keep going for the day. Stunning. Alright, so we have finished the hike that we were in this beautiful valley and continuing exploring the Flinders Ranges. We found ourselves in a gorge. Literally, as I talk, Chris is driving past the riverbed.
So beautiful.
It's that time of the day where the light really makes it pop, like the long shadows like this. We spotted a photo opportunity spot, but there was someone already there, so we might come back just after.
Check this spot out. Absolutely beautiful. There's even some water in this creek here. This looks a little bit like the Kimberley. Gum trees here, some reeds. It's nice to see some actual water in a gorge like this. Absolutely spectacular. Very impressed with the Flinders so far. We didn't have as good of a time, maybe way back in the day, probably because we were in the van. I don't remember it being really exciting, but this is awesome. Loving it. We're going to carry on.
Yay. It just keeps getting better and better. Like, we'll take a photo here, a photo here. It's just too good.
Spoiled for choice.
I can't imagine why is this place not more famous in the Flinders Ranges. Definitely the highlight so far of what we're seeing is gorge. This is stunning.
I don't reckon we did this in the van.
No, definitely not.
I think we probably got scared by the road. We've missed the best part. Burkina
Gorge.
Burkina Gorge, far out.
You are one hell of a gorge.
What a ripper! We just exited the national park and kind of like following a riverbed. I'm gonna try to find a little shelter spot for the night. How does it look? It's pretty good.
Do you want me to check if it's level?
Yes, please.
Alright. That looks pretty good from here. You've done that before?
This looks like one hell of a campsite.
The ride actually through the gorge was actually a bit bumpier than we expected. There's actually some proper washout in some places. You would need a full drive, I would say, or at least a good clearance. And every time that we go on the track or we go off-roading and Chris opens up the camper, I always look at his face because that's always the sign for me, is there gonna be a disaster waiting for us in the camper? And like this time we were not too sure about the induction cooktop. This is where it lives usually, just on a kitchen bench. We just put it towards the wall like that. And it was a bit bumpy and a bit sometimes like down, up. And I was like, oh my God, the day it falls, that's gonna be a really bad day. But no, it stays here, so that's really good news.
So what are the worst times we've had? Well, one of them was the little Makita vacuum cleaner had missiled a hole into the wall. That wasn't very fun. We had obviously the flooding, which was this here. If you come in here, Ange, we put the thingamabob here now because I don't know if I ever said, but I'd stupidly left the pump on. It was our first trip we've never lived in something like this before, so I had no idea. But this must have like jiggled free and caught that full bore. This had fallen out on the ground and was spraying water up onto the bed up there, and we worked out how much we lost because we had the
200.
The flow meter. I think it was 170 exactly litres we dumped in here. So since then, every time I open the camper, I'm basically scared something really bad has happened. The other day we had all these cupboards open up, and
no damage.
No damage, no major damage. Yeah, a few bits and pieces.
Yeah, so sometimes that's why you will see some blue tape on the cupboard. It's just preventive in case anything happens. So now we've just opened back up the camper, so we kind of like reversing our checks. So open up all of those little things that we've got on the side, putting the pump, and we're getting ready to settle down for the evening.
We have leftover dinner. I've got leftover, it was like Hokkien stir-fry chicken. That was really good. And then what do you have for, you've got leftovers as well?
I'm not too sure yet. I'm going to have to come up with something.
Improvise. So yeah, it's nice and beautiful. We get the chairs out, sit outside until it gets too cold, and then we'll come back in here.
Morning. As you can see, it's freezing. Chris is trying to fix the windscreen wipers because yesterday we had some issues with them. They were just not functioning properly. So hopefully get that working, because if it's raining one day, that would definitely be not ideal. I'm gonna shelter here. Ooh, much better. So cold this morning. So we're gonna go back into the gorge. We're gonna try to do a bit of videography there. Unfortunately, we really wanted to do some drone videography, but I managed to crash the drone yesterday into that big tree just behind us, which I'm really upset about. I've never crashed a drone before, and I know it's just material thing, but for us it's one of our work tool, I guess, and it was a present from my parents when we started travel with the Jeep, so it really upsetting in that respect. Chris tried to fix it, but somehow the motor, I don't know, there's an issue with it. So we're gonna try to get to internet at some stage today, try to do some Google, and hopefully we can fix it. But otherwise, either we'll buy a second-hand one or a new one. I'm not too sure. That's definitely not good timing. Like, things keep breaking the past few days, so we definitely need to change that momentum going and go back to things going more smoothly. But I guess it's the reality of getting back to traveling. Things don't always, I guess, go smoothly and go right. So yeah, just a reality. So I'm just gonna get in the cab because it's freezing here, and we'll take you along this beautiful drive along the gorge.
How cool is that? Hello. Such an awesome spot. Definitely a lot like the Kimberley. What do you reckon?
Oh, it's so beautiful. Nice in the center. All right, time to pack up.
So this was our beautiful little campsite last night.
So quiet.
Right on the edge of the road, but yeah, not very glamorous, but it worked out really nice for us. Now we're off to get some fuel, drop some rubbish, and we need to get some internet reception so we can not only upload our video, which you would have seen last week, so our Friday video, but Ange also has to call a drone store to look to see if they can send us a drone arm with one of the motors on it, and I'll see if I can repair it. We've iced up. So this truck, being 40 years old, does not have the best defroster system. So we're gonna have to wait here a little while, step away from the defroster vents. Yeah. It's so cold. Oi, 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 oi. It's looking better. Oh man, get in there.
Alright, so we just arrived in a local village and fuel station, but unfortunately it's not open yet. It's just past 8 AM and I think open 8:30, so that's not too bad. We'll just have to wait half an hour and go for a little walk in the meantime. Beautiful morning. Not too sure yet what the diesel cost is gonna be, but I'll keep you posted.
An awesome piece of machinery. Quite new.
Alright, so we all filled up. Got 134 litre of diesel, which is a lot. And I was at $2.50 Australian a litre, which is very expensive, but not so much for our remotest places. If you compare it to like the city Adelaide, it's not that much more. The tourist village owner told us he got it for not that much less.
You got it for $2.18 plus GST.
Yeah, so it doesn't make that much profit. So yeah, that's good on him. He was a very friendly man.
Very nice guy. Loved the Unimog. Absolutely loved the Unimog.
So that's a bonus. Ah, good. In the middle of the bush.
So good. Don't see that much.
So we knew we're going to dump the rubbish today, so that's why we put it proactively in our outside rubbish bag. So at least like that, we don't have to open the camper, take the rubbish. It's just faster and more convenient. Amazing.
Very
2 chores done. So unfortunately, where we thought we'll have good 4G signal in Parachilna, there was actually nothing. Not too sure any issue with Telstra. Yeah, we have no idea. So unfortunately, we have to drive 60 kilometers on the highway to another town where there might be better reception. We're hoping. What we need is a good upload speed for YouTube, which is really tricky. We never really had too many issues uploading vlogs so far, but it's probably actually one of the hardest stuff we've had.
Yeah, it's weird.
So yeah, no ideal, and it's definitely gonna prove difficult in the coming weeks, but yeah, hope for the best, and hopefully we can get the vlogs to you guys. It's live! Update in the life of Chris and Ange. Can you tell the exhaust is really loud?
The resonator flew off on the highway. somewhere on the side of the road, so we'll have to go back and pick it up. I didn't realise, actually it sounds a bit loud, I didn't notice, because the windows are up. So come all the way to this next town, 60 kilometres, realise, yeah, the exhaust must have fallen off. So we're going to go all the way back at some point, probably this afternoon, see if we can find it on the side of the bloody road.
Fingers crossed. On a positive news, we found a library in this remote town, which was life-saving. They had free Wi-Fi, can you imagine that? So we've been able to upload the vlogs, and that relieved a lot of stress in that respect, I must admit. So yeah, at least this is ticked off the leaf. All the chores are almost done, and just no exhaust. It will be good to go back to the gorge. Alright, and final chore for the day. While we're in town, Chris went to the grocery shop to pick up a few essentials.
Yeah, went to the food land, got a couple of dozen eggs, a little bit of meat and some bread and fresh fruit.
Good. And now, last stop, refilling the water.
Which is about 25 metres over that way. Luckily we've got long enough hoses and some joiners that we keep in a bag, so we just need to fill that up.
Yeah!
Yay! Got it!
We got our exhaust.
Nice try, fucker!
Sorry, Bowser.
It's 2 pieces of Bowser we've got that have fallen bloody off. Our brake caliper cover and the resonator.
Alright, now we're done with the chores, with all this boring stuff. It's time to head back towards the national park and finally enjoy ourselves again.
We try not to get these vlogs to be too long, because we end up having to cut a lot of content to try and get it under 30 minutes. So we'll wrap the vlog up here, and we will see you next week, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on Friday. We'll be in Parachina Gorge to begin with, and then we'll be moving on into Glass Gorge, and then on through the Gammon Ranges. So it should be really, really nice. So just going to relax the rest of the day.
Cool.
Thank you so
See you
much for
next
watching.
week.